Yep. No? Okay. Mostly. Oh, sorry. I was talking to Giovanni. He was sitting over here. Well, over here. And then his brother left the room. So I figured he was about to bolt after his brother. Not exactly, but he did leave. So, all right. Good morning, beloveds. It would appear that if I had a choice, 8:30 would be when I would get out of bed. Because I turned my alarm off Monday. No, I actually turned it off on Sunday. And have not turned it back on yet. Because vacation. And I've pretty much gotten out of bed every day at 8:30. So, yeah. Yesterday was a lot, which is why I forgot to do this in the morning. And today, the plan is later in the afternoon. So I have some time, which is a good thing because I need to deal with this. So, yeah. Okay. But you're not here to listen to me ramble on about, all of that. You're here for your spiritual power. So let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. If you will email that, you will get one email a week that tells you what's going on for the week and the month. The hot links are hot. Click here now means it. And it is a blind CC, which means nobody will see your emails. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. And when I say one email, I mean it unless something unusual happens, which almost is always weather. We live on the Gulf Coast. Weather. So it's weather related. Other than that, like I said, real person doing it just doesn't have time for more than that. Hang on. There may be a yawn coming. Sorry. If you need some oxygen, take a deep breath. Because that's clearly what I needed. And I'll mention the social medias briefly, only from the standpoint of we do not monetize them. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead, engage with the pages. Like, subscribe, follow based on which platform you are on. And then engage with the individual post by reacting to the post, commenting on the page, sharing the post. That bumps us in the algorithms. The algorithms go, oh, more people should see this. Yeah. We think we have good tools to share. We hope you agree. And it is free and easy way that you can support the center. I don't want my voice to go weird. It's a vitamin C trace mineral drink. Yes, it does have a little sugar in it, but it's like 1 gram. So, and they use natural flavorings. I don't know what that means. It's pomegranate blueberry and it tastes really good. Although their tangerine is my favorite. Although the watermelon is a close second. I'm not the biggest fan of watermelon flavored stuff, but theirs is really good because it's more akin to drinking the watermelon juice left on a plate than like artificially watermelon flavored candy. So, all right. And again, I'm off track again. So, did I mention what the social medias were? We are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark, and I'm the running Rev Ryan across the social medias that I am on. Probably not. My voice is a little weird, but it's been a good week. We've had some fun. Okay. So we are doing your spiritual power. We are almost done with your spiritual power. This is all we've got left. And your spiritual power is a collection, or Reverend Norm would call it a library. It is a collection of Ernest Holmes works that may not be found many other places. So that what's really cool about that is, they're all collected together here. Now, we have been working our way through the last 3 we did Discover a Richer Life, Discover a Richer Life, Living Without Fear, and now we are doing Think Your Troubles Away. Turns out what those are collections of Ernest Holmes' early Science of Mind magazine articles, which is why they have a different tone. It kind of like he's sitting on the other side of the table talking to you. It's really cool. I've really enjoyed it. And so that's what we are doing now is Think Your Troubles Away. Willis Kinnear, I know he pulled together, I don't know about discover a richer life, but the other two, because he did the forward. So he's kind of the reason why they pulled him together. I don't know if he did it or if he just said, hey, this is a good idea. And Willis Kinnear was a companion to Ernest later in his life. So he was definitely a student of Ernest Holmes. But like, I think he lived with him for a little while, if I'm remembering my history correctly. I may not be. So it's been a while. I did read one of the biographies on Ernest Holmes. There's 3, including one written by his brother Fenwick. I'm trying to remember which one I read. I do not know. Okay. All right. So we are doing an article. Hang on. Let me organize my thoughts. We are doing Think Your Troubles Away. We're in a part called Foundation, a New Foundation for Thinking. And the article today is A New Freedom. And we're just going to have to hope my voice holds out because it doesn't act like it's going to. The problem with being on vacation is you don't tend to drink enough water. Hence the electrolytes. All right. A New Freedom. In the rapid evolution of the thought of our times, we hear a great deal about superstition and reality. Some claim that the entire intellectual edifice upon which the religious thought of the world has been built is a false premise, and that our acceptance of it is superstition, while others claim that the principal trouble with the world today is in its lack of faith in some invisible power of good responding to the petitions of humankind. Let us define superstition and reality. All right. By superstition, we mean any belief which holds that there are powers, presences, or intelligences of a universal nature which respond more quickly to one person than to another. By reality is meant the nature of the ultimate truth. It is self-evident that we know but little about the nature of reality. Okay. The scientist finds everything culminating in laws, the philosopher in abstract ideas, the artist in pure feeling, and the religionist in absolute being. But these differences of understanding and approach to life are not as far apart as they first appear. The apparent gap comes rather from seeking to approach reality from one direction only. I might also argue that it's semantics, that the issue is semantics, that all 3 of them are talking about the same thing. They're just all using language specific to their approach, and then being unwilling to translate amongst each other. Well, when I say this, I mean this in your terminology. But, that's my opinion. And it's worth exactly that. So, an impersonal and partial getting together might show that the nature of reality starts in absolute being, impulsed by pure feeling, giving birth to ideas which operate in accordance with immutable laws. Indeed, an analysis of the situation seems to evidence this type of reality and this kind of unity. If so, we should discover that infinite person does not contradict infinite law, that absolute will does not necessarily deny spontaneous feeling, and that the universal ideal of truth and of beauty must necessarily give birth to that which is both truthful and beautiful. But to return to the superstitious approach, it is one thing to believe in infinite will and person, and quite another to believe that the will of infinite person is more solicitous. Apparently that is a word. Solicitous for the well-being of one individual than for that of another. It is one thing to believe that the nature of reality is such that it must respond to us in such a degree as we approach it in its true nature, and quite another to believe that by petition it will or can change its nature. Okay. That's an interesting little paragraph there. So, for instance, if the nature of reality is wholeness, perfection, and completion, any expression of reality must be wholeness, perfection, and completion. It is certain that reality could never change its nature or its expression. It would be futile to ask God to be God, to pray that the spirit of perfection should enter our being and make us whole, but to seek through realization to enter into the nature of wholeness would be a true approach to reality. I have no idea what I just read. Hang on, I'm going to go back and read that one again. All right. Okay. For instance, if the nature of reality is wholeness, perfection, and completion, any expression of reality must be wholeness, perfection, and completion. It is certain that reality could never change its nature or its expression. It would be futile to ask God to be God, to pray that the spirit of perfection should enter our being and make us whole, but to seek through realization to enter into the nature of wholeness would be a true approach to reality. Okay. All right. I got it. I think the sentence, it would be futile to ask God to be God, through me. I think what he's saying in this paragraph is, don't pray for perfection. Realize perfection. Realize that you already are that which you were seeking to pray for. I think he's throwing me a little bit here, but I've also had a lot of sugar in the last couple of days, so maybe my brain is just not working. Okay. All right. Emerson tells us that any prayer for less than the all good is vicious. I've heard this phrase before, which the good news is the next sentence he's going to explain that. Okay. All right. So let's go back. Emerson tells us that any prayer for less than the all good is vicious. By this he means that there is no isolated good, no separated good, no absolutely individual good. Yep. What you want for yourself, you have to want for everybody, is I think what he's saying here. Okay. He does not mean that it is impossible to individualize good, but that the individual mind is already part of the universal wholeness, which truth, when discovered and embodied, leads to its proper manifestation, the wholeness of the individualized life. We are born with the instinct to believe, to have faith, to expect, and to receive. Whether we say it has taken endless generations of experience to produce this instinctive belief, or that the instinctive belief appears with us and that it has taken endless generations of experience to understand the belief, makes no difference. Just as it makes no difference whether we approach reality through the laborious method of induction or accept it by the intuitive perception of deduction, we arrive at the same conclusion. Reality, to be at all, must be all and must include everything. What I like to say about that is the good news is the messiness is included. The messiness is included. Perfection doesn't mean flawless. Perfection means whole, which means it's all included, including the messiness. So, its process and performance may be and undoubtedly are through the law of evolution or unfoldment. But the thing unfolding can never be anything other than what it is. Complete to begin with, complete in all its processes, complete in everything it performs. Prayer is transmuted from a material and a superstitious basis in such a degree as it seeks, through contemplation, to recognize the inevitableness of the person's divine nature, the absoluteness of their real being. Not a being isolated from, but included in a universal wholeness. Yep. This prayer can be scientific, artistic, philosophic, and religious at the same time. It can be scientific in that it should realize the necessity of compliance with universal law. It can be artistic in that it senses the impulse of the original feelingness as the motivating power of everything. It can be philosophic in that it recognizes the nature of reality to be infinite intelligence operating from abstract ideal to concrete performance. It can be religious in that it recognizes the necessity of an infinite personalness, an infinite and absolute being. For in it we live and move and have our being. It can be dynamic and effective in such measure as it has absolute faith and conviction that when it is true to the nature of reality, reality responds to it. It is impersonal in such a degree as it realizes that reality imparts itself alike to each and all. It can be personal in such a degree as it realizes that the nature of the infinite presence is to express itself, to embody, to personify, to go forth into creation. Thus, the simplest fact of life becomes exalted, the meanest person divine, and all creation the body of the infinite. And when it says the meanest person, it means average. He's using that as a mathematical term, not a emotional term. The practical application of this apparently abstract approach to reality is very simple. One should feel that they and all people are divine, all united in one common mind, all moving to one common end, the manifestation of this infinite mind. And yet, at the same time, each can feel that they are a unique, a particular individualization rooted in the same unity, but manifesting a distinct identity. Forever the same, but yet forever different. Through meditation and by contemplation, we arrive at the essence of the power of prayer, which is identification. Okay, I was not prepared for the end of that sentence. All right. Jesus said, the Son can do nothing of himself, but what he seeth the Father do, for what things soweth he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. Basically, he's saying, whatever you see the Spirit doing, you can do also. Okay? In the weird language of, Bible quotes. He also imposed this condition upon childship, the necessity of entering through faith and acceptance into the nature of reality. A prayer for an isolated good, for a good which is to be enjoyed by one and withheld from others, cannot enter into the nature of reality to such a degree that as would a prayer which includes the all good, which at the same time recognizes the presence of an individual good. Viewed from the meditative and contemplative viewpoint based upon this concept of reality, affirmative in its acceptance and seeking to become an embodiment of the essence of its own realization, prayer will yet be discovered to be the most dynamic force there is in the lives of individuals and in the destiny of peoples. All right. Which, if you get down to, as they like to say, brass tacks, which I made that comment and somebody looked it up for me, which was really interesting. Oh, yeah. We, in the Emma class, I said to get down to the brass tacks. When Ernest didn't want to create his own religion. What he did was he said, hey, you know what? Jesus prayed in this really specific way, and it's a really cool technique, and it's very effective. And I've been trying it out, and it works really well. So I've started teaching other people to do it, and it works really well. We have this really neat way of praying. So let's teach everybody how to do it. Okay? So that was his idea. He's like, you come here, I teach you how to pray. You take this method of prayer back to your faith tradition. Because it wouldn't matter what faith tradition you were coming from. It's a universal application. The problem is that people were not getting fed in their religions. They weren't getting what they needed. So when they came to hear Ernest, they started getting what they needed, so they stayed. So Ernest ended up creating an organization. Religious science, or science of mind, isn't really a religion. It really is much more of a philosophy. We have this really cool technique that we want to teach you, and that's it. It's just that enough of us hung around that we ended up being an organization. So here we are. We are in art, we are in science, we are in philosophy, we are in religion. But we have this really cool technique about the way we pray and what we believe about the way we pray. When you come to us, we don't teach you what to believe. We teach you how. What you believe is between you and the divine. But we have this really cool technique to help you talk to the divine. So that would be my elevator speech, if I had one. All right. Although I was in an elevator a lot yesterday, it's 4 stories from the ground to the top to enter into the shuttle. Because they have the airplane and then they have the shuttle on top of the airplane. And so it's 4 stories up. Thankfully, they had an elevator. So I got to be in the elevator. Although every time we got in the elevator, it was just me and Tom. So it was really interesting. So, all right then. That is today. And I have been highly distracted. So, yep. Take it for what it's worth. I'm going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day. A take care of business day, a take care of yourself day, a drink plenty of water day, a go do something fun day. Make sure you take a day every once in a while to turn the alarm off and figure out what time your wake up time is. A cuddle your fur babies day, a do what you gotta do day, a make sure you eat something healthy today, I think I'm out of words day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, because occasionally it is, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own time. You are a brilliant light, a divine spark, and as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. It is all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds. Tomorrow, I do nothing except house stuff. I'm staying home tomorrow. So, yeah. So I will be on to do this. I should be on around the usual time. Take care of yourself. Know that you are, and Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. So, yeah. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.